Howdy. Happy Sunday, family. Welcome to Mindset Soul Set with Jamil Damji. It's a beautiful Sunday. I hope you guys have all had an incredible week and that we're ready for an awesome topic today. Look at all this crap on me right now. Anyways, great to have all of you guys with me here today. A very fun topic that we're going to be discussing, and it's on how to raise your vibration, raise your level of consciousness, your vibratory state, so that you can collide with opportunities, situations that are more aligned with what you want in your life. So things that are aligned with your higher purpose, things that are aligned with the desires that you have within your heart, and not with fear, right? To avoid or to be able to maneuver around the things that we don't want. And so we'll be talking about this topic today. So before we get into it, I just want to remind all of you, this takes just a moment for you to like this video right now. If you like this video right now, just take a second and say, hey, you know what? I want to score some karma points. I want to make sure that I do my part, because this man is taking time out of his Sunday with his daughter to teach me something that he's researched and studied. And I want to pay it forward. I want to show my appreciation for the time and the energy and effort that Jamil is putting into my life. And so I'm just going to move my fingers just a couple of inches up, and I'm going to hit the like button. Yes, there you go. Just hit that like button for me. It helps the algorithm and also helps me grow this page. And then also, if you would right now, one last ask, if you could screenshot this and share this on your social media, either share this on your Facebook or share this on your Instagram feed and say, I'm with Jamil and he's talking mindset with me today on how to raise my vibration, and you should come and check it out. I would so appreciate it. I really want this show to grow, because this is the work that I really believe in. This is the stuff that lights me up, fires up my soul, because I feel that all of us have something that we really are here to learn and to teach others. And for me, this work is a part of that. So before I get into the topic, I'm going to start this off with a prayer. And the reason for that is I truly believe that everything and anything that we want or need in our life will find its way to us through our source when we ask and take steps towards it. Again, if this makes you uncomfortable, I don't know why you're here, because this is what I do. But if you'd like to join me, here we go. God, we love you so much, Lord. Thank you for today. Thank you for opening all our eyes and giving us breath, for giving us the minds to connect and communicate with each other. God, we're so grateful for that. Lord, we ask that you guide each of us to your purpose for our lives, so that the steps we take are your steps, the words we speak, your words, the actions we take, your actions. God, we ask that you guide us to those individuals that will be of benefit to us, either through a financial gain or a lesson we need to learn. And we also ask that you deflect us from those individuals that would waste our time or bring us harm. Lord, for any of our family here that are in need of any additional understanding of the concepts that we'll go over, we just pray for perfect clarity in our minds. And for anyone suffering through any physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual pain, we just pray for perfect healing in our lives. And Lord, it is with humble hearts, and in your heavenly name we pray. Amen. All right, dope. Okay. Before we go into how to raise our vibration, how the techniques and the specific activities that I do to raise my vibratory state, at first I want you to take a moment. Now, if you have a pen and a piece of paper handy, this would be helpful for you. But what I want you to do is I want you to think of the last negative things that have taken place in your life. Let's just call it the last 3 negative things that have happened in your life. Okay, so that could be a relationship falling apart. It could be a business situation going sideways. Maybe you had a health scare, something that was monumental though, right? Not just like, I had to cancel my wholesale deal. You know, not like some BS stuff that's not consequential in the grand scheme of things, but like real stuff. Okay, real stuff. Something that was not to your desire, something that you wish could have been different, right? Maybe you were stolen from, or lied to, or cheated on, or something that was negative, right? Let's just call it what it is. I want you to think of a couple of things that you have experienced just recently, and what I want you to do is I want you to establish, or I want you to relate those negative things with a geometric shape. Okay, so when I mean a geometric shape, I'm saying like a circle, a triangle, a rhomboid, um, a shape, a square, a rectangle. Just associate a shape with the negative circumstance or situation that transpired in your life. Yeah, Nathan, sure. Shaped like a poo. Good. Very good. Not geometrical, but we'll go with it. So just think of what that shape is, right? And now you have that association with that shape. Cool. Now I want you to think of a positive dream that you're thinking about, or a goal that you really want to manifest, or a life circumstance that you are just so looking forward to having happen in your world. And I want you to associate a geometric shape with that as well. Okay? Just give you guys a moment. Give you a moment while I crack my Perrier. Perrier's got to sponsor me. I drink like 10 of these things a day. Damn. They're so good. All right. So we've got geometric shapes associated with negative circumstances that have happened in our world. And we've got a geometric shape associated with positive circumstances that we are thinking about or wanting in our world. So now we have two shapes. Okay. Why did I have us do that? Well, it makes it easier for us to understand that what we are emitting from our body, okay, our frequency, the frequency that we are emitting. Now, the frequency that we are emitting from our body is associated with our vibration, okay? How we vibrate emits a frequency, okay? And that creates an electromagnetic field around our body. And when we are emitting that, we are communicating or transmitting a pattern into the world, okay? Now, what I want you to understand is when something negative is happening in your life, okay? Let's, again, just health problems, money problems, relationship problems, whatever these are, right? When you are emitting that shape, these are the things that you are finding, okay? So you've just associated a specific shape, whatever that shape was. Let's just say that the negative circumstances in your life are a triangle, and the positive circumstances in your life are a circle, just to keep it simple. When you are in a low vibrational state, you are emitting triangles in your electromagnetic frequency. Okay, now, unfortunately, those triangles are coming out of you and they are preceding you. So everywhere and anywhere that you go, when you walk into a room, you are slapping everybody in the room in the entire energy soup with all of the triangles that you're emitting. And the same is for the opposite. If you are emitting that positive or that higher vibrational state or that geometric shape, if you're emitting circles, okay, then you are sending out circles out into the room. Now, what we know in science is that like attracts like. And just like a magnet, if you are putting out triangles, guess what you're going to get more of? You're going to get more triangles, okay? If you are emitting circles, what are you going to be getting more of? Circles. So now that we understand that the negative circumstances and situations that we're finding in our life are a geometric pattern associated with the frequency that we are emitting from our electromagnetic field generated by our heart and our brain, then it's easy for us to understand why we keep seeing the same freaking thing over and over and over and over again. Why our patterns keep finding us. Why it's just like, what the hell? How am I still dating the same girl I dated in high school? And I just mean that metaphorically. That's not a real thing in my world. But you understand what I'm saying. If I'm putting out a specific frequency of the kind of woman that I am attracting, all right, or the kind of relationship that I'm attracting because of a specific idea that I have in my mind and in my heart of what a relationship should look like. And if I'm emitting that geometry is coming out of my heart and my brain, and it is just bringing me more of that shape. And that shape is going to be there over and over and over again. And it won't stop until I change the shape that I'm emitting. Does that make sense? All right. If that is resonating with you, I need you to let me know in the chat, because unfortunately, when I do these talks on YouTube, I don't get a lot of feedback from you guys. You're all chatting and chitting in the chat here, but I need to understand if this is resonating with you. Okay, so whatever the shape is, the geometry of what you are putting out is what you are finding there in the world in opportunity. Okay. Now, unfortunately, for the most of us, what's happening is when we are stuck in these unconscious, low vibrational states, and that's victimhood. Oh my God, the victim mind is just so easy to fall into, that we live in a life happening to us, that everything is just random. It's just all these random negative things. I just can't seem to catch a break. Man, I everywhere I turn, it's just another goblin waiting to rob me, another bad situation, another bad person, another thief, another human ready to break my heart. All of the things, right? We know people like this. You see all that. You know the interesting thing about chaotic people, right? Why do you think they have chaos all the time? We know these people. You might even be one. Right? You might even be one. Just be honest with yourself. You might be that person that just is emitting so much chaos out of your frequency that there is nothing but chaos finding you. You're constantly and getting your stuff hacked. People are stealing your identity. You're getting into car accidents. Your dogs are dying. All this chaos is just happening to you all the time. And you're like, wow, because you think you're a good person, and you probably are. But the geometry of the frequency that's coming out of your brain and coming out of your heart is chaos, and chaos is finding you. You understand? So what we have to do is we have to understand that our internal state is being reflected to us in every opportunity and moment in our lives. Everything you do, the people you meet, the conversations you have, it's all a reflection of the geometric pattern that you are emitting from your field. And it's so simple to change that. It is. And I honestly wouldn't have been able to say that this was a simple process if I hadn't been studying this and doing this myself. Guys, I came out of one of the hardest years of my life last year. Okay, it was terribly difficult. And when I talk about problems and terrible situations and health crisis and relationship crisis and financial crisis, I was robbed for over $1 million. All of these things kept happening. And I can honestly say that I'm a good person. I'm a good dude. Right? I don't feel like I deserved any of the things that were finding me. But the fact is I was calling and I was participating in bringing all of those circumstances to me in my life. Every one of them. I take full responsibility for all of it, for all of it. And the moment that I was able to take responsibility, and the moment that I was able to be honest with myself and tell myself the truth, is when everything changed. Everything changed. Everything changed. So, how do we raise our vibrational state? I'm sure you are wondering what these are. I shared a graphic on my Instagram, and I'll start there, but there are so many other modalities that we can do to change the geometric patterns to be able, that are coming out of our lives or coming out of our bodies, right? The first strategy that I spoke of was telling yourself the truth. Okay, telling yourself the truth. Number one, tell yourself the truth. Why is this so important to tell ourselves the truth? Because, friends, we are so full of crap to ourselves. And look, I'm not going to point the finger at people. I'm going to point the finger at this guy, right? So when I was going through the year, right, going through the terrible things that were happening in my world, right, in my life last year, I could have let's just say the financial calamity, right? Being ripped off for $1 million. Okay, I was stolen from. I invested $1 million into a situation that was brought to me by friends, okay, people that we trusted, and I invested $1 million, and the returns that were being promised were just insane, right? Like 10% a month. And I figured, wow, I put $1 million into this thing. That's $100,000 a month in income, right? Just passive income. This is great. And so I invest this $1 million, and it's gone, right? It's a Ponzi scheme. Some of you guys might have seen some CoffeeZilla video where I discuss it, because I came out and talked about it. A lot of times when people get ripped off, they just kind of crawl under a rock and don't want anybody to know because it's embarrassing. It was embarrassing. Let me just say I'm embarrassed that I was robbed for $1 million, because I'm smarter than that. I think I'm smarter than that, at least, but I was still taken advantage of, and so that was difficult for me to swallow. But I could sit here in victim mentality, and I can be like, bad people. These are bad people. These guys took advantage of me, and these guys did a bad thing to me, and they took my money, and I could have pointed my finger. And you know what? The fact is I actually did. I got so angry. Last year when that happened. I was lashing out at everybody. I was lashing out at the people that brought me into the situation. I was lashing out at that dude. I was lashing out at this dude. I was a mess. I was a total maniac about it. Now I can make $1 million easily, right? So it was like the principle of it, like the little Tupac that lives in my brain was just like, hell no, we're going to kill everyone. Like that's how I was feeling. I was like, this is not okay. And the victim, right? The victim that I had put out there was very, very, very alive. Okay. Now, let's think about this. I attract to my situation, I attract to my life a circumstance where I lose $1 million. That means I was emitting that. And you want to know what the underlying geometric pattern of that was, or what the underlying emotion, or what the underlying reality is, the frequency that I was putting out that brought that to me? Greed is what it was. It was greed. At the end of the day, guys, I know better than to expect 10% a month in anything, right? I'm the guy who preaches this takes time, that life, the business is a process, and that nothing happens fast or overnight. And if it's too good to be true, it probably is, right? I say this to people. I believe in that. And then here I am letting greed get the best of me. Just actually, I didn't write the check, sending the wire. Oh, God, I love you. You love me so much. You put me into this incredible situation where I'm going to make 10% a month on my money, and I'm going to bless everybody with it. Oh my goodness, I'm going to give away more money to charity. I'm going to be a much better person to everybody in my life with all of this extra money I am so blessed to get from this passive income of 10% on a month on my $1 million. And soon I won't even have to work anymore. Oh, amazing. Pfft. Come on. Right? So I put that out there. The fact is that the greed that was in my heart got reflected right back to me, and I come face to face with that in my life. And I had to own that. I have to own it. I have to tell myself the truth to say, okay, well, you know what? I actually found the emission. I found the frequency that I was putting out into the world. And I allowed that, and I allowed it into my space. And then I brought it into my energy soup, and I ate it. And I choked on it. But that's the reality. So I had to tell myself the truth, okay? And so many of us don't tell ourselves the truth. Guys, I hear it all the time because I do this, right? I teach, I coach folks on how to, make themselves financially free through real estate. And I can sit there and I can tell you, I talk to people who come onto some of the coaching calls, or they come on the hotline, or they come onto some opportunity to have a conversation with me. And they're like, hey, this doesn't, it's so hard. It doesn't work for me. And I'm like, well, okay. How much work you doing? Oh, I work every day. Okay. Show me your KPIs. What are your numbers? How many people are you actually calling every day? What are your follow-ups? What are you actually freaking doing every day? I work. And then I got other things. I got family. Okay, so how many times? What does that mean? Somebody sent me a deal. I sent it out and nobody bought it. Now I'm mad. Holy crap. So hold on a second. You actually didn't do anything, but somebody sent you a deal. You didn't even check to see if the deal was an actual deal. You send that out to the 5 or 6 buyers on your buyers list. Nobody wants it, and now you're butthurt. Now you're butthurt that this isn't working for you because you did nothing, and you are lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. You're absolutely lying to yourself about what you're up to. That's the hard part. Tell yourself the truth. Be honest. Be honest with yourself. What are you actually doing? What are you actually putting out? Are you building 10 little piles of doo-doo out there? Trying 10 little different things, doing a little bit of every little thing, just having zero consistency, like no consistency at all? Is that what you were doing? Are you building 10 little piles of crap and then staring at them and being like, why does it smell? Tell yourself the truth. Tell yourself the truth. Be honest with you. And then when you're honest with you, honest with others. You got to be honest with others. You have to be. All right. Number 2, the patterns in your life. Okay. What are the patterns? When do you find yourself sinking into a specific low frequency? What is that? How does that look? Is it, okay, come Friday, I feel tired at the end of my day. And now I got to go get a 6-pack of beer. I'm going to drink my 6-pack of beer. And then, because I worked so hard this week, man, I just need a break. I just need a break, man. I just need a break. I got to drink some beers. Okay. And tomorrow, Saturday, I wake up, I got a hangover. Oh, well, I got a bad hangover today. Now I'm not feeling up to it today. I'm not going to really do anything. My workout's shot. Oh, frick, it's Sunday. Oh, dang it. I did nothing. Got nothing done. Oh, it's okay. Next week. Friday rolls around, same thing. And look, I'm gonna call myself out too. Okay, so I have one of these negative patterns in my life. You guys, look, the reality is I'm not gonna sit here and ever BS you guys. Okay, it's not who I am. So one of my hills that I'm climbing in my life is my relationship with the good old sticky icky. Okay, I'm gonna just put it out there. Okay. So I can tell you that it's not a healthy relationship. It's not. Even though I'm not a pothead, I don't sit there and hang and do that all day long, and I don't do it during the day. Like I don't do that. Okay, because I'm super productive. But come the end of the night, I like to relax, and then that relaxation leads to overeating, and then I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh, shoot, I did it again. I overate, and I got all these wrappers around me, and I'm just like, not actual wrappers, like candy bar wrappers. I'm not surrounded by actual wrappers, but wrappers. Okay. You know what I mean? Okay. So that's one of the hills that I have to climb in my life, right? And I'm being straight up with you. It's a negative pattern for me that I am honest with myself about, and I see that I have to make an adjustment. I do. I got to make an adjustment with that. And I've been struggling with it. Straight up. I've been struggling with that. I'm having to, like a child, I'm going to have to figure out how to deal with this struggle in my world so that I can overcome it. And I can overcome anything. I've overcome alcoholism. I've overcome pain medication addiction. I can overcome weed. Let's be real. I can. It's just like I think I've allowed myself for it to just have this oh, it's not a drug, it's not bad, it's it's harmless, it's a plant, do all the things, right? And so I lie to myself. And I give myself these excuses of why it's okay. But the facts is that it's lowering my vibration because I'm eating trash. I'm eating trash at night. I'm surrounded by candy bars. Okay? So that's a pattern so now that I've been honest with you guys and I've just bared myself in the reality of one of my situations, what is a pattern in your world right now that's not working? Maybe it's a relationship situation. Maybe on the weekend you go out to a nightclub, or you get intoxicated, or you hang out in Tinder and you have terrible relationships or terrible meetups with people that are just totally surface level and degrading your energy and degrading your body. Maybe that's something that you're doing. I don't know. But there's patterns. There's patterns in your world right now that you are falling into, traps. Okay? Or like the last example I gave of like, I'm not really trying to do anything, but then when something happens and I try to do a little bit of effort, and then instead of actually being honest with myself of how little effort I did here, and it doesn't work out, and then blowing up and being like, my God, my life is terrible and it's so hard. And just, if that's a pattern and you understand that's a pattern, then note the pattern. Note the pattern, right? So if for me, the pattern is end of the day, I go here. And I have to disrupt the pattern, right? So what's my pattern interrupt? What is my pattern interrupt? So for me, one of my pattern interrupts is going to be that as soon as my day is done, okay, 9 or 10 o'clock at night, whenever that is, as soon as my day is done, I have to insert something new. Okay, that takes me to making the adjustment. How do you make an adjustment? You make an adjustment to a pattern with a pattern interrupt. And a pattern interrupt is something new, something novel. Okay? Something novel. So what is that thing? What is that new thing? What is that thing that I can interject into my life that will disrupt the pattern, that leads me down the same thing, right to the jar, right to the grinder, right to the wrappers, right to the candy bars? Okay? So I got to interrupt the pattern with a pattern interrupt, something novel, something new that's going to send me in another direction. Does that make sense? All right, number 3, meditation. Meditation. Oh my goodness. Yes. Meditation has been absolutely groundbreaking for me. It's been the change in my life. I was a total degenerate before I found meditation, because it allowed me to see me. It just allowed me to see me. It allowed me to look. Because here's the reality, guys, is this, okay, especially for people that are on the path of self-actualization, of self-realization, there's this concept that we got to be positive all the time. We got to be happy all the time. People, I get people that send me DMs and be like, man, I thought you were a spiritual guy, but I heard you say the F word the other day. You can't be spiritual. You swore. Okay. Here's the reality, okay? I am exactly what I am in whatever moment I'm in it. I'm honoring whatever emotion is coming to me. I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to pretend to be a certain way when I'm not. I'm not going to lie and speak a certain way when the words coming out of my mouth are the words coming out of my effing mouth. I talk like that sometimes. Okay? I do. Sometimes I cuss. It's what it is. But I'm able to see that because I'm able to go inside. And when I get inside, when I go into that void, when I go into that place, that home of energy, when I'm in the home of energy, that's when I can actually make a change. I can build things there. Right? When I lay down the ego, when I lay down this meat suit of who Jamil Damji is, when I lay down the accomplishments, when I lay down all of the things that I thought made me, and I let all that crap go, and I can just go in and as an awareness. When I just go in as an awareness, that's where I get to experience that freedom, that taste, that bliss, that unless you've been there before, I can't really explain it to you. But what I can say is that that every human has access to it. You're not a special person. You don't have to be a special person to get there. You don't have to not swear. Whoever of you is sending me these DMs, you can get in if you swear. Yep, you can. You don't have to be a specific religion. Nope. Yep. No, Muslim people can get in. Hindus can get in. Jewish people can get in. Christians can get in. People who have no religion can get in. Yes. All of them. Every human being can get in. Yeah, there are no exclusions. Pretty cool. Yeah. Because everything that told us that there was an exclusion, that there was a group better than another group, that's the lie. Those are the liars. Yeah, you can even drink tequila and get in. Si, senor, you can. Everybody's allowed in. Yes. Yes, everyone's allowed in. You just have to have the intention. You just got to have the desire. You got to have the desire to want to connect. Okay. Number 4, breath work. Whew. Everybody take a breath with me. Let's do it 4 times. That was 1. 2. All right. 4. Didn't that feel different? I mean, in 4 breaths, we can regulate the entire nervous system. You can downgrade or downregulate the sympathetic nervous system. You can downregulate the stress hormones like cortisol. I'm even speaking a little slower, just taking 4 breaths, right? Just 4 breaths. I was vibrating coming into this thing. I'm like, I was, getting a little bit angry because somebody's DMing me that I shouldn't cuss or whatever. So just those 4 breaths. How crazy is that? That 4 breaths can get you there. Now imagine if you do holotropic breathing for 20 minutes. If you guys see in the chat, there's a young man named Nathan Harris. He did a 100-day breathwork challenge. He did breathwork for almost 100 days straight. I think he screwed up at the end and he's starting over again. But yeah, 100 days of breathwork. I do breathwork every single day. Like it's like brushing my teeth. Okay, I do it like it's brushing my teeth. Why? Why do I do that like it's brushing my teeth? Well, here's what I learned about breath work and why it's such an incredible tool for us. So somatic breath work is at one point was actually banned in some societies because of its capacity to connect you to higher dimensions, because of its capacity to connect you to the divinity inside of you, because of its capacity to free you of stored and blocked energy in your body that you are holding on to, that are causing you to continue to emit frequency that are bringing more and more trauma into your life. Every trauma that you've had in your life leading up to today is stored in your body if you do not find a way to release that. And we release that in the breath. You release that in the breath. And so we can find that energy. In fact, these stored emotions that happen from trauma, emotion is energy in motion, right? It needs to move. And when it's stuck in your body, that's when we start to create disease in our body. Okay, it's dis-ease. And it is creating disease in our body. And that disease is manifesting itself as cancers. It's manifesting itself as anxiety. It's manifesting itself as so many different kinds of disorders, skin disorders. For me, you guys seen last year, one of them was I had a lot of injury in my spine. I can say that came from incongruity in my life. Okay, I needed more congruence in my life. I had blocked and stored energy in my world. I wasn't being true to myself. I wasn't being honest to myself. I was storing and holding on to these emotions. I was storing and I was actually pushing out of myself the truth of what I was feeling about certain situations that were going on in my world, and I was lying to myself that I was okay with them. That's what's up. I was telling myself a falsity, and that lie got stored in my body, and that got stored in my body in such a way that it degraded my spine to the point where I almost passed away. I was a week away from a stroke or death, guys. No lie. That's exactly what the neurologist told me, that you are like 7 days away from either having a stroke or having passed away because there is no cerebral spinal fluid getting to your brain. I don't even know how you got here today. That's where I was. So for me, being able to incorporate the breath, and it was after that I started incorporating breath work into my life. Okay, so breath work is a new modality that I've brought into my world. And it came from that. It came from an understanding that I was in a pretty bad spot. Right? How many of you guys would be interested in us doing a breathwork session on this Sunday mindset call? If you guys would like for us to do like a guided breathwork, I've got some amazing things that I do. I actually would love to share this with you guys. So if you guys think that one of these Sundays we could do, you guys would be down for like a guided breathwork mindset day, let me know in the chat, and I would actually love to bring that. Awesome. Okay, so number 5, taking a walk in nature. Okay, so for me, getting out into the world, I've been going down to the Bow River, where I'm in Calgary, Alberta right now. I've been going down to the Bow River, and I've been walking the Bow. every morning. And I listen to the sound of the river flow. I listen to the birds chirp. I look at the trees. I'm looking at the sun. I'm paying attention to sounds. I'm smiling at people as they walk by me. I'm actively participating with my environment, and I'm in my environment. I'm present in that environment, and I'm asking, I'm seeking, and I'm setting an intention for any information, for anything that I need to be downloading, anything that I need that is going to serve my and the community's higher purpose, for it to find me on my walk. And I'll tell you guys, those walks are some of the most important parts of my day. That's where I get the best of my ideas. That's where I get the best of my ideas. Some people get their better ideas sitting on the toilet. I mean, look, whatever floats your boat. But for me, I like being outside, being in nature, and actually seeing beautiful things and scenery. And that gets me to that spot. So taking a walk in nature is a phenomenal way to raise your vibration. Number 6, acts of kindness. And when I say acts of kindness, guys, I don't mean the kind of acts of kindness where you are, where you're like, where you are showing people that you are that in this act of kindness, that you're doing something specifically so that, oh my goodness, look at what I've done, right? I'm not talking about acts of kindness that you put on social media. I'm not talking about stuff that you put out and do so that you can show people that you're doing good things. No, I'm talking about actual, like, cool stuff, good things for people, right? Something that you can do that's for nobody else. Holding open a door, right? Buying somebody lunch, a random person lunch. Or you walk into a restaurant, you're like, hey, I'm gonna pay for the food for the guy behind me. Just random stuff, right? Just random stuff. Doing a random act of kindness. For me, one of the most incredible ways for me to raise my vibratory state, for me to be able to feel just connected to my environment, feel connected to the people around me. I absolutely adore doing that. So random acts of kindness, a phenomenal way to raise your vibratory state. Number 7, exercise. Yes, exercise. Moving your body, just taking care of the temple that is housing your spirit is so important. I mean, we are so abusive, and I'm talking about myself here. I'm so abusive to my body. I work it. I work it hard. I work almost 7 days a week. Often I take very few days off. That's not good. I know that's not good. I'm typically only sleep 6 hours a day. I could probably do better, but for whatever reason, that's all the time my body lets me get. But exercise and taking care of this temple that we have is an incredible way to raise our vibration. It's how we honor the gift of this transportation device that we have, right? By taking care of it, polishing it, loving it, giving ourselves a massage, or buying ourselves a massage, or sitting in a hot bath, or going on a cold plunge, or doing something, going on a hike, hitting the elliptical machine, pushing some weights around. Just doing something that's going to get the body moving, getting the blood going. Exercise is absolutely phenomenal. And we know that the body loves it because of the reward mechanisms associated with it. The dopamine dump, the endorphin dump. Why do you think they call it runner's high? People get into this transcendental state after running because the body is so grateful that you gave it that gift of movement. Number 8, healthy food. Oh, and I could do so much better with this. Most of my day, I'm actually eating pretty healthy, right? But I shared with you guys my nighttime stuff ain't so good, right? My nighttime things ain't so good. So, but I'm gonna get there, right? But healthy food, right? Trying to really think about, where did my food come from? Did it come out of a box? Is it loaded with preservatives and salts? Is it, not Does it have unhealthy fats in it, unhealthy oils? Is it processed? Now, I'm not like going to sit here and tell people to go vegan and plant-based or whatever. I'm I'm not going to proselytize any specific diet, but I would say that I think it's true that garbage in, garbage out, right? And so if you can figure out how to feed yourself in a way that is high vibration, that is with good food sourced from good places, and really paying attention to what you're putting in your body from the moment you wake up, the water that you're drinking, where is the water coming from? There is a documentary that you guys could watch, and it talks about the fact that water has memory. The source of your water is so important. It's so important, right? If you're drinking city water that was once somebody's urine, I'm not joking. City water is some of the worst stuff that you can drink. They're just taking sewage and they're treating it with chemicals until it's something like water. And they're, bleaching it, and they're putting all kinds of stuff into it to try to keep it from killing you. And it's going through these mechanical pipes that are just leaching all kinds of I'm saying the city water supply is not where you want to get your water from. It's absolutely not where you want to get your water from. But like natural spring water, and if you can afford it, a really good spring like Fiji. The Fiji water, I'm not, again, for those of you who know me, it's the only water that's in my house. I pour that into my coffee makers, not because I'm bougie, but because I believe that it's better water. It has seen less drama. It's seen less treatment. It's seen less of the world from when it came from its natural source and got into the bottle. And for me, that's where I want to get my water source from. Yes, Pete mentioned the name of the documentary. It's called The Secret of Water. Watch that documentary. It'll change how you look at water. Absolutely change the way that you look at water. So paying attention, right? Setting intention with your water, right? Sending intention into your water is important. When's the last time that before you took a sip of your water, you thanked it? When's the last time you did that? When's the last time you prayed on your water? Why do you think holy water works? Why do you think it's even a thing? When somebody blesses water, because that blessing will sit in the water. It will stay in the water. When you bless your water, it blesses your body. Number 9. Service to others mindset, right? Now, there's 2 different mindsets that we can adopt. We can have a service to self mindset, and we can have a service to others mindset. And I'm not here to tell you which of them is for you. But I can say that for me, and what I know is that when I am serving others, it raises my vibrational state. When I'm serving myself, when I'm only serving myself, I feel my vibrational state lower because I feel joy leaching from my body. When I'm just thinking about me, when I'm just thinking about how I get to gain, how I get to win, how I get to be rewarded. When it's all about me, it's not fun. But when it's others, it's the quality to what I'm doing just becomes so different, right? Like these calls, these Sundays with you on this live stream, they mean so much to me to be able to do this with you guys, to be able to have these conversations. These aren't conversations I get to have with people on a daily basis. Most people won't want to talk to me about. I can't, take someone out for coffee and be like, hey, you want to go out for coffee and let me tell you about the ways that I'm raising my vibration? Nobody wants to hang out with that guy, right? But I get to do this with y'all here on these, and I feel my tribe here. So when I'm serving other people, it lifts me up. It actually fuels me. And when I'm serving myself, which I have in my life. I have absolutely served just myself in my life. And I can tell you, I only know the difference because I've done both. Straight up. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be a saint. I'm not. But I can tell you I've done the other. I've done the other thing, and the other thing didn't feel good. And it also didn't lead to good things. And so I tried the other. I tried service to others, and it felt amazing. And it led to so many blessings. And so I continue to do that. I continue to serve other people because I know the result. And then number 10, gratitude. Yes, gratitude makes everything sustainable. The hard stuff, the good stuff, all of it. All of it. My goodness, when we can be grateful for everything that's in our lives, whether it's a difficult situation or whether it's a win, when we show we're grateful just to be alive, just to be here, we get more experiences like it. Gratitude is incredible. It is one of the most powerful emotions that we have. And for all of us living in the West where we have access to computers, man, you guys, there's 140 of you ish on here right now. You all have a device that you're watching this from that is worth, $1,000 at least, whether it's a cell phone or a computer. Just think of that. Just think of the fact that you have a device that is that expensive, that you get to do this on a Sunday. That is such an incredible gift. Because there are people out there who can't. There are folks out there right now who don't have access to the internet, that don't have a phone or a computer. They have no access. They don't know me, right? And so they're in a different situation. There's always something to be grateful for. And, especially when I was going through my harder times at the end of last year, gratitude was what got me through. It really was. Gratitude is what got me through. I don't know that I would have made it. There were really hard and dark days there. But if I didn't have friends in my life, people like Bobby, Pace, even my ex, Natalie, she's such a beautiful, wonderful human being. I mean, even though we were going through a split, that woman carried me through that. She stuck by me while I was like mourning the whole thing and losing my mind and being, just, most people would have just walked away, but not her. And we continue to be the best of friends. I'm going to love that woman for the rest of my life and beyond, because I can tell you how grateful I am for her, for who she is and how she shows up. So what are the things that you're grateful for in your life? Who are the people? Who are the ones that are showing up for you? The ones that are making you even being here possible? Who sacrificed for you? And how can you send them that gratitude? How can you send them that emotion? How can you send them that frequency? What a beautiful day. This stuff lights me up, guys. It absolutely does. I can say without a shadow of a doubt that I live for this. I'm 100% on a path of self-realization. And I feel the 145 of you that are with me right now are all on that same journey. You're not here. You don't last 55 minutes into this conversation if you are not walking this path, friend. I promise you. I promise you, you are all agents of this exact light. You are all meant to share this with other people. Every one of you are a beacon, and you will change thousands of people's lives. Every single freaking one of you. None of you are without that. None of you. If you think you're excluded from that responsibility, then you're out of your dang mind. Okay, what makes you that special that you think that you're not, that you aren't as powerful as everybody else? So put it out there this week. What are the things that you're going to do that you're going to use to lift your vibration up? How are you going to walk in this energy, in this path? How will you tell the truth to yourself today and to others? How are you going to identify those patterns that are not serving you, that are pulling you into vibrational states that are no longer for you? Are you going to make time to meditate, to breathe, to connect to that gift of breath, the only thing that we need in this life? Will you spend time outside and marvel at the beauty of this universe and of this incredible world we get to call home? Will you show kindness to somebody for no reason, without reward? How will you honor your body through the week? And what fuel will you give it? And who do you plan to serve? And how can you let that create the most grateful experience that you could have on this planet? I love you guys. I hope you have a phenomenal rest of your week. I hope that this hit you in a way that will affect you in a positive, loving manner, that'll change the way that you're emitting a frequency in your body, that the shape, the geometry of what you're putting out there matches the geometry of your dreams. I'll see you all next Sunday.